live from Studio 6B on a Monday, June 10th, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slick Rick's got the night off. Rick Delgado's got some news tonight. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am well. How about yourself?
Very good, very good. Lots to talk about. We'll get into, lots of stuff. How was your weekend?
I would say better than yours. Because I know I didn't have to get stuck in traffic for 6 hours on the way home yesterday. I got to, I actually did nothing all weekend. It was wonderful. I didn't burn anything. I didn't run over anything. I didn't break anything.
No flying objects or bats through your house?
No bats in my belfry. All I did was ride my bike, eat, and take naps. It was nice. I felt like I was retired.
That sounds pretty good. Mr. Zier is here. He's got some news as well. Mr. Zier, how are you?
Hey, guys. How are you? Had a great weekend. I saw the grandkids yesterday. They went in the pool. They're cute. And had some of the kids out getting ready for a big wedding this Saturday. My son's getting married in Cape May, New Jersey. So.
Yes, you're heading down to New Jersey, heading down to Woody's area.
Woody's area, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to try to catch Woody's on the way down. Depends what time we leave, because it doesn't open until 11. It opens 11 a.m. I looked at it. But if I leave at 5 a.m. to go there, I'm going to miss Woody's. But I have to do a movie premiere, red carpet event for The Relentless Patriot, Scott Delgado, and it doesn't end till like 2 in the morning on Wednesday. So I got to drive back from the city, get back in the car.
Sounds just like a David Zier schedule. Get done with one thing at 2 a.m., get up for the next thing at 4 a.m.
Yeah, so I'm trying to push it off to a 9 a.m. start, which would put me right on time to get to Woody's at 11 or 12 for lunch. So we'll see what I can
there you go.
Negotiate.
So, me and my son were back on the road this past weekend, and we did not have any Woody's experiences again this weekend. We did not go searching for something that was not there.
Well, that's good.
But what we did do is take 6 hours yesterday to get home. 6 hours.
That's rough.
And not even from downtown Boston. We didn't go to the game. Tickets never came down in price, so there was no chance I was spending that.
All right.
So we weren't even in, like, actual way up in Boston, like in the city. We were, like, below Boston. In Plymouth, we actually went to see Plymouth Rock.
Really?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Did it land on you?
The reproduction of the Mayflower that's there. I guess the one that came from England, I guess in the 50s, is still there. And so we had a good time, and we didn't have any mishaps like Woody's deal again, but we left yesterday. Well, these basketball tournaments, the problem is there's just seemingly no planning whatsoever. No planning. Nobody knows who's playing who till like the day before. So I couldn't book a ferry. I couldn't do anything because we didn't know what time our final game on Sunday was going to be, depending on how we played on Saturday, which was not good, and not good on Sunday either. Lost all 3 games, and not even lost, just got whooped. It's just fine. That's fine. He played good. They had a good time. But we start out on home at 11 o'clock in the morning. And from where we were, you can't just go south to come back to New York because of where you are. There's all water. So you got to go north
water
to then go west
to
then come south. 6 hours.
So it was a direct route is what you're saying.
I'll tell you, I just can't believe how many people move around on Sundays anymore these days. There's just no days off.
Yeah, it doesn't
There's
seem
just
like
cars everywhere. It's just cars backed up for as far as the eye can see everywhere you go in the Northeast.
Yeah, especially
everywhere
in the Northeast.
Excuse me.
It was just crazy.
Is Plymouth Rock still there?
The actual rock is there. I took a picture.
So why isn't it underwater if the seas have been rising?
Well, because they got it like blocked off.
They got it blocked off?
Yeah.
How high is it?
From the rising
How high is what?
Like the rock.
No, the rock is down. Like in this, I'll show you during the break.
Yeah, I never went there.
Plymouth is pretty nice. Nice right on the water. Some nice boats there. We had a nice meal there. My son and I had like a late lunch, early dinner.
Where'd you go, to Wally's?
No. No, we went to something. It was like something the crust. It was like homemade pizza deal. It was good, real good, in Plymouth. But the trip home yesterday was just enough to make it. And I got to do it again this weekend. Not as far, but almost as far. I got to go to Springfield. Mass.
Springfield, Mass. That's not that bad.
Well, no, I was going to take I'm booking the Bridgeport Port Jefferson ferry no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't care what the times are. I'm just booking it. And it's going to be, well, Coach, here's what time our ferry is. So you make the game so we can play because we're going to make the ferry. I think that's the approach I'm taking this weekend.
And that's good because it does break it up, especially when you're coming home. If you can do it on the way home, that saves you. Because basically on the way home, and we've done this before, that concert I went to last summer at Foxborough turned into an enormous task coming home, even at 11, 12 o'clock at night, because of the fact that it's so far. You got to drive around. But if you have that ferry ride for an hour and 15 minutes, man, get out, stretch your legs, walk around.
Speaking of...
grab a little something to eat, and then you jump in the car, and you're almost home.
I went there to Foxborough on Saturday. I went to Patriots Place. Have you ever been to Patriots Place?
No.
Well, it's right there at Foxborough. It's very cool. Lots of restaurants and shops and stuff to do outside. They had a band playing. It was beautiful out. It was pretty cool, Patriots Place.
So I'll be right across from Rehoboth Beach. So maybe I should pop in and say hi to the Bidens on the beach on Saturday. Because there's a ferry, speaking of ferries, right from Cape May, right to Delaware, right to Rehoboth.
Okay.
Well, he might not be there.
He's not there, literally.
Yeah.
And figuratively.
Well, let us know if you do. But anyways, I'll be in Springfield this weekend. You try to see Biden. I'll be in Springfield dealing with this again. But, man, I can't believe how many people are on the road on Sundays.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was just crazy.
Like off hours is fine. You can make pretty good time. But, man, once people get up and get on the road, it almost seems... They make fun of Long Island because you can do 65 miles an hour in bumper-to-bumper traffic. That's what it's turning into all over the Northeast, though.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever got to 65 on the whole trip. Maybe like the last when I got close to home. I don't think I even made
like
it
in
to
your
60.
driveway.
It was just.
We've done that Mid-Atlantic run. We had 37 teams between our kids for the last 25, 30 years, and all the way from I'd say North Carolina to Massachusetts. But I think it's gotten worse.
Definitely gotten worse, no doubt about it. So, all right, lots to talk about, lots to get into. I saw Nate Silver today over at 538 put out a tweet. Biden's approval. They thought that they just banked on all this lawfare and everything in the label of a convicted felon, or soon to be convicted felon, I guess is technically how it goes once sentencing is over. They just counted on this making this big difference in the polls, that somehow they thought it was just going to change people, enough people out there that they would see some numbers change. And all they've seen is his support continue to go down at a new all-time low approval this morning at 37.4% at 538 Nate Silver's place. And when you've lost Nate Silver to the point where he says, now we all know dropping out would be a big risk, but there's some threshold below which continuing to run is a bigger risk. Are we there yet? I don't know, but it's more than fair to ask.
What are you trying to say, Damon? Are you trying to rethink your position?
I am not rethinking anything. I am quite comfortable in John Solomon and I's position.
Really?
I'm stating that Nate Silver at 538 polling says that there's a no return, a point of no return, where at 37.8%, 37.4% approval rating, there's just no coming back if you're the Democrat nominee. That doesn't make me think they're going to, by the way, change it. I just think that he's going to continue to slide and Trump's going to continue to go up.
Now, according to Business Insider, they might not be as optimistic as you.
Well, you can't listen to them. They're almost out of business. They're a bunch of crooks.
Yeah,
they're almost out of business. That's Dave Portnoy.
And even they're saying 7 Democrats who could replace Biden if he drops out of the 2024 reelection bid.
Well, okay, so who are the 7? I mean, he's not dropping out, but who are the 7?
All right. Let's see.
Gavin Newsom.
Let's see. We'll
Michelle
start.
Obama.
Number 1,
Kamala
Vice
Harris.
President Kamala Harris.
Okay.
They're saying she's the number one pick.
Okay.
Number 2, Gavin Newsom out of California.
Let me guess them. Let's see how many I can get.
All right.
Okay, Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris,
Yep.
Michelle Obama.
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far down in this list yet.
Well, you said there's 7. How
there's 7.
how hard can the 7 be to see on the list? Is she there or not?
Well, they do a whole paragraph after.
Oh,
she's not on this list.
Okay, so
Believe
there
it
you
or
go.
not, she's not on this list.
I'm going to go with The Rock.
No.
Okay.
Rock is not on the list.
Rock's not on the list. Oprah.
Oprah. No, not on the list.
Okay, Oprah's not on the list.
No.
So I guess we're back to all politicians on this list?
Think about Argentina. Your favorite governor.
Oh, Governor Whitmer, of
Yes,
course.
she's on the list.
Okay, she's on
number
the list.
3 on the list.
Okay, Governor Whitmer's 3 on the list. Newsom. Michelle's not on there.
After that,
Maxine Waters. Got to be on the list.
It really takes a dive into people you're just like, who?
Maxine Waters.
No. Maxine, Mad Maxine Waters is not on the
original
list.
Crazy Town is not on the list.
What about Carolyn McCarthy?
Carolyn McCarthy, don't even know who she is, but
She's
she's
from New
not
York.
on the
Former
list.
Congresswoman, New
Okay.
York.
Let's go the fat guy from Illinois, Pritzker.
Tim Ryan.
No, Pritzker didn't make this list, believe it
Okay.
or not.
All right. Cory Booker.
Cory Booker, believe it or not, made the list.
Okay, there you go.
And people were surprised.
Big,
They're like,
D's on it.
Cory
Yep.
Booker?
No, you got to think. You got to think DEI here, folks. You got to
right.
think who's going to fit the check the boxes.
Got another one.
Let's
we
go.
got 4 more to go.
Let's see.
3 more.
We got to find black. Let's see, black lesbian. Corinne Jean-Pierre.
No, Corinne Jean-Pierre.
No. Okay.
No.
Dean Phillips.
All right.
Dean Phillips, no, is not on the list.
All right. Cory Booker's on the list. Let's go.
3 to go. We need 3 answers.
3 to go. We need somebody like
3.
maybe from Texas. Somebody Castro.
Wrong. Try again.
He's not on there, huh?
No.
Okay.
No Joaquin Castro.
Okay. Democrats who could run for president. Lindsey Graham.
Close, but no cigar.
No, he's not on there.
Senator Amy Klobuchar kind of looks like Lindsey Graham, but a little more.
Oh, is Klobuchar on the list?
Yeah, she's on the list.
Really?
That's
all right.
good.
Give me the other ones. I'm not going to.
The other 2, Governor Roy Cooper of North Carolina,
Yeah, he's going to be looking for a new job.
because he's a very centrist Democrat who they think they can make.
Yeah, sure he is.
And then finally, out of Maryland, Governor Wes Moore, out of Maryland.
Okay, Westmore. He's he's great.
Yeah,
He
So there
checks
you
the
have it.
box. So yeah.
Here are the 7 that they think could replace Biden.
He really seemed like he could fit given his press conferences there down in Baltimore Harbor. He really seemed like he's ready for prime time.
Yeah, the crime down there.
Exactly what I
out
was
of
thinking.
control in the inner harbor of Baltimore.
There's your. I mean, I don't know what that list says to you, but man, that's a pathetic bench. That is not. That is a pathetic bench.
It really is.
Ooh.
Kind of surprising.
Brutal. It's brutal.
All right, we'll get started. News all coming up.
And they're sold out, but
they were
sometimes
sold
I
out.
wait on standby.
It wasn't that I didn't want to take one or didn't call. They were sold out before I even left Boston.
So
They were
you had
sold
to
out.
drive around.
Oh,
Yeah.
when I tell you that everywhere we went, it was just brake lights. I mean, I've never experienced anything like it.
That sucks.
Connecticut.
Did you
Every
take
road.
Did you take 95? Or did you go
Some
84?
95. We had to go to I had to leave 95 and go to the Merritt Parkway because it was 95 was so slow and backed up, and they said there was an accident.
You go to like 15.
So we went to 15, and 15 South was a parking lot as well. In Boston, I went on 93 before I went on 95. I went on 3 to get to 93. Every one of them was the same story.
Damn.
Every single one.
Everybody leaves on Sunday. They head back home.
11 in the morning, through 5 o'clock at night.
Connecticut's been rough all year.
Like, don't people go to the beach on Sunday or go places and sit down for a while and leave the road? I mean, it's just constant.
Well, that's what happens here on the island on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
You'll see backed up traffic westbound on the expressway Sunday afternoon because people are leaving the East End.
But it's been like that in Connecticut all year. I was in New Hampshire about 8 times, and every time, except for a couple of times.
Crazy.
It was brutal.
Hey, Rick, the clip you sent me right before the show started is now in. It's cut 1A.
Thank you, sir. Did you resend me that list? I don't know what the hell I did with my cut list.
Yeah, I'll resend it.
It just disappeared. I think I hit some special button and made it go bye-bye.
For those who keep sending stuff in saying we're live during the commercials, we know.
As long as we're not live over commercials like that what happened on Friday.
What happened on Friday? You were live?
Apparently something broke and our audio was over the top of the commercials on the network.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Slick Rick was salty.
Clean, but salty.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday. Welcome on in, brand new week. Glad you're in. If you're watching on social media, Facebook, Kick, X, Getter, Rumble, YouTube, wherever you're watching, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, hit the thumbs up, whatever it is, comment. We always love the audience comments. We'll get to some of those in the breaks. If you're watching on any of our social media, of course, we stay live with you during the commercial breaks on RAV. So if you're there, we'll get to some of your comments as well. We'll do some news with Rick Delgado and David Zier. Slick's taking the night off. He'll be back tomorrow. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. So Biden had some event at the White House tonight. I think it was for Juneteenth. Sounds like a lot of fun. And here's just one little clip of what was going on there. And I'm not sure what's up with the somebody who was born in, well, he was born in many churches, but one of them, he told us he was raised in a black church, right? Born in the black church?
Yeah, born in a black church, raised in a Greek church.
I mean, we've all seen Donald Trump, obviously, when the music hits. You can loosen up the hips a little bit. You would think someone like Biden, born in the black church or whatever, would be able to, kind of loosen up. So here's what was going on at the White House.
I don't want to love nobody but you. I don't want to
He's
love
got nothing.
nobody.
Yeah,
Nobody but you.
I don't. Yeah.
He's got nothing on Obama's Rap Wednesdays.
Oh my goodness! He can't even do the towel out of the shoulder shower move.
I think it's the
Doing a little coughing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, pound dog.
Was that the Juneteenth concert?
I believe so.
Oh, my
I think
goodness.
that's what that was.
That's horrid.
Yeah. So
He's got nothing. Now Trump is thrown in. Have you seen the new Trump dance? It's called milking the cow. He does the milk the cow. So he starts out like this,
Yeah.
and then as he makes his way through the crowd, he starts milking the cow.
okay.
I like it. It's a nice move.
I have
Soon
not.
he's-
I don't know that I've seen that.
Soon he's going to start doing paint the fence, and then sand the floor.
Now, did you guys talk about? Did you guys talk about what that video? What was the video that broke over on Friday?
What video?
I don't know. I don't know. 6 hours in the car has got me all screwed up. I can't remember.
Made
but
an
I was
impact,
thinking.
huh?
I was thinking,
Oh,
what'd you
that
say,
one.
Fran?
Said it made an impact, huh?
You mean that video?
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was
that
big
one.
what was the news Friday? There was big news.
There was
about
big news.
What was the video Friday that came out? The news, not Pelosi's video today, but something else came out.
We did a lot of Dr. Phil clips.
Okay, Dr. Phil, yeah.
Let's see.
What was the other thing that happened?
The letter that came out.
The letter. Thank you. That's
It wasn't
That's what-
really-
the
it
Facebook
wasn't really
post.
a
No, it
video.
wasn't a video, right?
Right. It was just a
Facebook
letter.
post. So
Yes, we talked
where
about
did you
that.
guys? Where did you all land on that? This thing is real? Not real? What's going on?
It was not the reporting on it was real. The letter that the judge sent out to the attorneys was real.
I know
but that's
that.
that's the last we heard.
Is the post really from a guy whose brother was on the jury?
They're not sure. Or we haven't seen a follow-up from that just yet. But according to Fran did some sleuthing.
Crack researching?
Yes.
Yes.
And he found that the guy is a notorious S-poster.
Yeah.
And, I guess has done this kind of thing before.
He was leaving comments like that all week during the trial. So
Yeah.
Okay.
He did previous posts, right?
And Fran, your crack staff also came up with the fact that that's not Hunter Biden in that video, that Puff Daddy-like video?
Yeah.
no, it's not.
Okay.
It looks like an Asian guy, doesn't it? From the side profile.
It could be, yeah.
Okay. All right, very good. So, all right, let's do some news. 21 past the hour. News is brought to you by our friends at Seven Cells. No sports tonight, but I want to remind you for Father's Day, if you want to shop at MyPillow, use our code LFS6B at checkout. It'll save you up to 50-60% off. Great stuff for Dad that you can get for him at MyPillow. I would think you'd have to be quick here in the next couple days to get it by the weekend, I would think.
Yeah.
LFS6B is the code. What's going on, Rick Delgado?
All right. Well, the big clip that everybody's talking about seems to be the unaired footage showing chaos and anger from congressional leaders amid the January 6th evacuation. Believe it or not, I'm taking this from Politico. In clips that were provided to House Republicans, congressional leaders appear confused about whether the request for the National Guard assistance was denied. They asked multiple times, but anybody heard about it being turned down. Of course, this is in response to Nancy Pelosi being seen on video talking about the insurrection, talking about how things have gone awry and how it's her responsibility for the security of the Capitol. Here it is in cut number one. Both David and I sent this clip in. Here she is acting surprised that there's no National Guard on staff.
Now, before you play this,
Yeah.
let's remember something. This is we called this the Salem witch trials all along, and now we're even getting a painted picture clearer of why that was an appropriate name. This is footage that was shot by her daughter.
Yes.
So it's not like Pelosi didn't know that she was being filmed. It's not like she didn't know this was hanging out there. It's not like everybody else on that sham, phony, nonsense committee knew this was hanging out there, because I'm sure they spoke to her. I'm sure they spoke to the daughter. I'm sure they spoke to her. I'm sure they knew exactly what was being filmed. This girl was in there with a crew set up to capture all this, like almost like she knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, and she released other footage like 2 years ago, interviewing guys that were and basically admitting stuff like this too. So Alexandra Pelosi,
So all this footage shot by her daughter, so they know they have it. Yet we go through this whole thing. You have Peter Navarro, what's happened to him. You have Steve Bannon, what's happening to him. Others, what's happened to them. Cassidy Hutchinson, we know that was all phony nonsense. We know they've gotten rid of evidence. We know they've destroyed other things. And now we find out that all this footage, who knows what else? Who knows what else they have?
Yeah.
They've got to have more. This clip came out today that they've known all along, that she's on tape saying, I take responsibility for not having that. Now, okay, people are saying, well, she didn't admit that Trump told her she could have. Well, we already know he did.
Yeah. We have the
told us,
letter.
Kash Patel told us, others
Kash
told us,
Patel
Stephen's son
verified
told
it.
us.
Yep.
that Trump did request it.
Yeah, the D.C. mayor, Muriel Bowser, confirmed it in a letter saying we're turning down your assistance, your offer of National Guard troops. And then in here, in this article, McCarthy in a phone call tells Schumer that he never said no. And McCarthy is, I guess, the sergeant at arms or something over, or Pelosi's chief of security there. Talk to my boss, he says, though he doesn't specify who he's referring to. Pelosi, in a separate phone call, tells the VP, Pence, who was sheltering at the Capitol, that they were disappointed that the Secretary of Defense took so long to approve the National Guard. So it seems like they're doing that old Spider-Man meme, where they're pointing fingers at everybody else. Meanwhile, they all know that Nancy Pelosi was in charge.
Certain security members and heads of security were left out of the loop on purpose.
Yep. So here's that clip. Here's cut number 1. Here's Nancy Pelosi acting surprised.
We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean, the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient resources.
That is not a question of how they had been. They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more.
Yeah, there you go. So she takes responsibility. Pelosi, of course, appearing frustrated after she left the Capitol, asking why Capitol security hadn't seemed to adequately plan for the large-scale protests that turned violent, according to the video. Also suggests that the Capitol security officials should have been more transparent with lawmakers about what they were hearing. She noted that the main guidance they gave to members was to use the underground tunnels from the office buildings to access the Capitol rather than walking outside.
We'll talk more about this when we get back. Live from Studio 6B on a Monday night.
On all the socials?
Yes.
I don't have access to some of them right now, but good evening, everybody out there. Hope you had a great weekend. It was really hot out west, right?
Yeah. But still a great turnout for Donald Trump in Nevada.
Mile long, the lines.
Ocala was a big turnout in Florida.
They
then
said
you had
30,000 maybe.
Yeah. Newport Beach is hilarious.
Craig on YouTube, hello from Savannah.
Throngs of people lining the road, right?
Randy Mueller on Facebook. What's going on, Randy?
What's up, Randy?
Liz Cooper says hi, guys.
I will try to get into the chats now. Let's go, Rumblers. Let's see.
Tommy Viper, what's going on? AZ Mikey, what's going on?
AAZ.
Kathy on Facebook, hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, West Hartford, Connecticut.
I'm not on Facebook, but hello, everybody on Facebook. And
man, hello.
X.
Hello, Jeff.
That's right. You got hijacked, right?
What's up, Jeff? Yeah, I had my Facebook and Instagram accounts hacked, taken over. They're posting stuff on my site that shouldn't be there.
Barbara Knight, your grandson is going to be in Springfield for a tournament. Well, it's probably the same one. It's a big one.
Just stay away from if he sees Damon. Stay away if he got stuck in traffic because.
Yeah.
Well, nothing can be as bad. Nothing. It's not possible. Just not possible.
But just the monotony of driving down the Hutch and getting around the city.
Oh, God, it's just my back's killing me tonight, too.
Can you order the ferry tickets now?
I'm going to, yes. I don't care what time the game is on Sunday. I'm on the ferry no matter what.
Yeah. Well, Springfield's not as monotonous heading north that way,
bad.
right? Yeah, what, 91, I think you take up there?
Yeah.
I remember I went up that way one winter.
John says he's got some good restaurants in and around Springfield. That sounds good. Drop them in the chat. Or send them to lfsxb@yahoo.com.
Isn't that the home of the Basketball Hall of Fame?
Yes, it is.
Come on, do it.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday, June 10th, getting the week started. Someone in the chat said, Damon on the ferry. Did that happen at Woody's? No.
You should do a T-shirt, though. Be like Damon on the ferry instead of Harry on the highway, and you could be like Leo DiCaprio standing on Titanic with your arms out.
Well, the problem is I never made it onto the ferry. It would be Damon in traffic. 6 hours. Ridiculous. My back's killing me.
Oh, my goodness.
Ugh, just
he's been complaining about his back since he walked in the building.
Oh, it's just
my goodness,
terrible. All right, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night. So the more I think about the Pelosi video, that's either a really good act on her part, and this is all timed up to drop now.
That's what I was thinking when I was watching.
Because she knows. We heard Stephen Sund.
Mm-hmm.
She knows President Trump offered up the National Guard. What the hell is she talking about in that video? The more you think about it.
Yeah. And remember, she knew her daughter was recording everything, so she was she was playing it up for the camera.
Well, just like their cameras following her around on their emergency exit, right, out of the Capitol.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. This thing seems now when you really think about it, what she says in that video, as we watched it there, I was listening to her, thinking, what is she talking about? She knows that Trump offered up the National Guard, and it was turned down. Is she trying to make us believe at that point, after she's left the Capitol, that she didn't know that they were offered up?
Right. We
know they were.
It seems like a CYA move, basically. You know what I mean? Like, it's happening now. I'll have to say, oh, my goodness, I did not know. Who ordered this? How come it wasn't done? That kind of thing, just so she comes off surprised. Because, again, remember, her daughter she's a documentary filmmaker. She doesn't do these things just to say, oh, let me just video mom. It's a historic day. There's always a reason why they do what they do. And it's because they're trying to tell a story.
Let's cue that up again, Aaron. Let's play this one more time and listen to what she says here. Go ahead.
We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff should we call the Capitol Police? I mean, the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
It sounds fake.
That line, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fake.
That they had sufficient resources.
No, there's not a question of how they had, they don't know.
I don't even know what that was. Was that
They
English?
clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more.
Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing seems... by the way, she's responded to this. Of course, she runs to...
Yes. It's 1A. Cut number 1A. We have her response.
Oh, you have it. Okay.
Yes.
She runs to MSDNC, of course, to jump on with Nicole Wallace. Because, who else would you go to when you want to respond to something like this? And so here's her response to Nicole Wallace saying that it's a brouhaha on the right, this video clip that we just played. Roll that.
Why do you think this is stirred up and a brouhaha on the right and in some corners of the media today?
Well, because the fact is that the President of the United States, the former president, and his toadies do not want to face the facts. They're trying to do revisionist history on January 6th. But we cannot let us be dragged into their, false impression of what happened that day.
Just hold it for a second. Now, when she says revisionist history, the only ones trying to be revisionist in this history is her. in their side? Who on our side is trying to who's trying to write revisionist history on January 6th? We've stayed by the facts the entire time. Who's the revisionist history here? Who's trying to go back and say what is she talking about? She's the one with revisionist history. She's the one making it up as she goes along. She knows what the facts were. We said early on, the Capitol Police, we need to know who knew what and when from her people and from McConnell's people and the sergeant at arms and all of these people that day. Because it was very clear after you heard Stephen Sundon with John Solomon, after you saw Kash Patel testify, and then we saw the Salem witch trials nonsense. The only revisionist history is all the liars that they put through this thing, who went up there and lied and perjured themselves in front of this fake, phony committee that they put together. There's no revisionist history. What is she talking about? Go ahead.
That day. They know how serious it is and was and continues to have an impact on our country. And yet they want to call the people who were in there hostages.
Liars.
Last night I received the Lincoln Award. I was so proud of receiving that. And I said in my remarks, Lincoln built the dome on the Capitol. He insisted that it be built during the Civil War so that it could show the resilience of America. And to see these people coming through the Capitol with their foul deeds and foul actions, waving Confederate flags and Nazi flags under Lincoln's dome was so shameful. And yet this president who incited, this former president who incited this insurrection would not send the National Guard for hours. People were harmed. People were killed.
All right, Aaron, that's good.
Died.
Can't listen to her.
Trump supporters were killed.
People were harmed.
Continued to lie.
And people were killed, according to her.
And there weren't any Trump people flying Nazi flags.
Yeah, revisionist history. That's revisionist history right there.
Yeah.
That's 2.5 minutes of revisionist history right there.
Yeah.
What is she talking about?
Where was that fake Nazi march? Was that in Deadwood, South Dakota? Did you guys see that footage?
No, I didn't see that.
You know, where they have all the uniforms, look like they were made in a Marvel studio, and there's Nazis marching through the streets of Deadwood, South Dakota the other day?
No.
A lot of baloney. They're feds.
Of course, she runs to Nicole Wallace because she knows she'll get no pushback from Nicole Wallace. That's why she's there. She knows that Nicole Wallace is not going to ask her any questions. She knows Nicole Wallace is not going to say, well, let's just go over this one more time.
Right.
Did the president authorize the use of 10,000 National Guard troops in the days leading up to January 6th? Yes or no? Because we've had Kash Patel has said it. This has said it. This has said it. This has said it. Yeah. Stephen Sund has talked about it. Were the Capitol Police, was Stephen Sund purposefully left off of intel so he wouldn't have any idea what was coming? Did you know what was coming? I mean, someone's got to question her.
And again, the D.C. mayor, Muriel Bowser, 100%. Sent a letter a couple days before denying any assistance from the National Guard. So obviously they were offered. She went through the process of sending a letter to, I believe it was Stephen Miller, and the others in the administration saying, we do not need your assistance.
And Pentagon officials backed that up.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi knew damn well what the possibilities were that day from the intel she was getting. And she did everything she could to make that day look as bad as possible for the sitting president of the United States.
Yeah. And of course, he responded, and we have a cut of him responding and exposing Pelosi on MSNBC way back in 2023 regarding this exact question. Here's cut number 2. Check it out for yourself.
By the way,
on that day,
Nancy Pelosi, I don't have, why would I tell you that? Listen, Nancy Pelosi was in charge of security. She turned down 10,000 soldiers. If she didn't turn down the soldiers, you wouldn't have had January 6th.
Did you call military or law enforcement?
What?
Did you call military or law enforcement at the moment the Capitol was under attack?
I'm not going to tell you anything.
Just hold it there. You notice that Kristen Welker, in all her brilliance, doesn't even acknowledge what he just said.
Right.
She just goes right past it as if he didn't say it. Doesn't question it, doesn't try to follow up on it, doesn't say anything. Just goes, what did you call that on? And now she's back to that day. Did you do it that day? He just said Nancy Pelosi, as the Speaker of the House, was in charge of protecting the Capitol, with the Capitol Police, with the Sergeant at Arms. He offered her 10,000 troops, which if she accepted, you wouldn't have had January 6th. Kristen Welker has no interest in talking about that. Zero. Which is why she goes right past it as if he didn't even say it. Go ahead.
Put it this way. I behaved so well. I did such a good job. Nancy Pelosi turned down 10,000 soldiers. If she didn't do that, and now
Nancy
I understand.
Pelosi doesn't have the authority that
the
you
police
have as
testified
commander-in-chief, though.
Listen to me, Kristen. Listen to me. I understand that the police testified against her, the chief very strongly against her. Capitol Police, great people. They testified against her, and they burned all the evidence. Okay, they burned all the evidence. They destroyed all the evidence about Nancy Pelosi.
What do you say to people who wonder why you as commander-in-chief, you have authorities that Nancy Pelosi doesn't have as commander-in-chief?
No, she has authority over the Capitol.
Why didn't you send help in that moment, though?
Frankly, just so you understand, I assumed that she took care of it. She turned down.
So when you realized that the National Guard wasn't coming?
Well, you don't realize anything until quite a while. National Guard not coming. I asked it to be there 3 days in advance, and she turned it down.
She says that request was never officially made.
Oh,
just so you know.
Let me just tell you.
Let me ask you about pardons, Mr. President.
Now she's trying to change the subject.
The mayor of D.C. gave us a letter saying that she turns it down. Okay, we have it. Nancy Pelosi also was asked, and she turned it down. The police commissioner
I'm talking about
Capitol
the day
Police,
of, though.
wait a minute.
Yep.
Capitol Police said that he wanted it, and Nancy Pelosi wouldn't accept it. She's responsible for January 6th.
Mr. President.
Nancy Pelosi's responsible.
Mr.
And
President, you're the president, though. You have authorities that no one else has as the commander-in-chief. Do you think you showed leadership on that?
Yes, absolutely, I did.
Okay.
Now, I wonder if Kristen Welker on her very unwatched Sunday show will bring this video up. I put the chances at 0%. What do you put him at?
I'll double that.
Yeah. I'll go along with that.
Put me in for 2.
Yeah. So we said at 0% that anything on this Sunday, on the unwatchable Sunday shows, all of them, no exceptions on Sunday morning, that this will even come up. Martha Raddatz won't bring it up.
No.
Little Georgie won't bring it up. Kristen Welker won't bring it up. And the Brennan over on CBS, she won't bring it up either. I would bet that none of them will play this video and have Nancy Pelosi on to ask her about it or to rehash revisionist history.
Right. They won't ask her about the letter. They won't ask her about Stephen Sun's testimony. They won't ask her about Kash Patel's testimony. They won't ask her about anything. They'll pretend it didn't happen. And that's what you get with the when they're trying to sell you what they want you to believe.
No, there's never been an honest conversation in the MSM about it. And Raddatz, too, our behavior with the IDF spokesperson and everything about the Israeli rescue. I'll have some of that for you, which is awful.
Martha Raddatz this past Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, Martha Raddatz, along with a lot of other members of the media, are more interested and more emotional about how many terrorists were killed than how many Israeli hostages were saved. And that's a fact. All right, live from Studio 6B. We're back on a Monday right after this.
Let's see here. Trying to pull up multiple tabs on my new iPhone at once, and I can't seem to do it. So I can have multiple stories prompted. Let's see. Father's Day this weekend, right?
Is that this weekend?
That's what I've heard.
Oh.
Well, I said if you're going to do My Pillow, you got to do it early.
So you're going to have extra traffic.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's going to be fun.
It took me 9 hours to go 200 miles from Cape May last time. The traffic was so awful. Garden State Parkway was closed. It was a jam, packed. Now with Father's Day, everyone coming home, forget it. For those of you who don't know, Cape May is at the bottom of New Jersey, all the way down. So it's about 160 miles from Manhattan. What should be a 3-hour drive was a 7-hour drive just to get to the city. And then you have to get out on Long Island. Forget it. You need a helicopter.
Maybe they will have a flying car soon. I actually was driving thinking I want to call Elon Musk right now and see about flying cars because that's really what I wanted. Or I wanted one with like 2 missile launchers on it so I could take care of all the cars in front of me. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. On a Monday night, Rick Delgado was doing the news. I feel like we only did the one story because we got stuck on the lying...
we did a lot.
Lying Botox face.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. The more I think about this video dropping today, I don't know. We might be getting set up here.
Right.
Could be.
Yeah, what's coming next?
Could be Rabbit.
She's a damn liar. She knew that she knew he offered him up. All right, we'll see. All right, what else is going on in the news, Delgado?
All right. Well, turns out John Fetterman decided he's not a progressive, and he's been saying it for a while, accordingly. Most recently, he said it on CNN. You can check it out here on this cut, number 5, as John Fetterman expresses what he thinks happened to not only him, but to the Democrat Party. Here it is, cut number 5.
Some progressives have criticized you for being a different senator than you suggested you would be when you were a candidate for Senate. What do you say to that?
Well, I wasn't. I was very clear for saying that for years I'm not a progressive, and I just identified myself as just a regular Democrat. So it really wasn't any new news. Now, 8 years ago, I was a progressive, but the situation's changed, and I've been very clear that I didn't leave that label. That label leaved me, and I think it's much more important to be focusing on Donald Trump instead of, kinds of purity tests and those kinds of issues.
Yeah, so there you go. The Democrat Party leaved him. And almost on cue, turns out he gets into a little fender bender. Yeah. Maybe has something to do with anything. I don't know. I'm not saying it. But John Fetterman...
They're trying to make him a Democrat again.
Yeah, John Fetterman and his wife, Gazelle, are hospitalized after the Democrat senator got rear-ended car on the highway. This happened, and Maryland State Police told Daily Mail that the senator was driving a Chevrolet Traverse when he rear-ended a Chevrolet Impala in northern Maryland near the Pennsylvania and West Virginia, I should say, border. My computer screen froze and I can't scroll the rest of the story.
That's all right. I mean, at least it wasn't a bridge where there's some water involved, like other Democrats have driven. So just keep it positive.
Fetterman only has a 7% score on the Liberty score. But he has come around on some major things.
That's kind of to be expected.
According to authorities,
he's been better than most, though.
Yeah.
According to authorities, the Fettermans were driving in Hancock, Maryland, when the crash occurred. Following the crash, both the Fettermans were transported to War Memorial Hospital in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, and he was treated for a bruised shoulder. So there you have it.
Well, him and his wife seem okay.
Yeah, they seem okay.
That. Yeah.
We're not sure. I guess he rear-ended somebody.
Okay.
So there you have that.
All right, we'll do some more news with Delgado in a little bit. Let's do some news with the host of Breaking Point, Saturday mornings, 8 a.m., right here on Real America's Voice. I know you don't have your computer, so you'll do the best you can here. That's David Zier. Mr. Zier, what's going on?
What's up, guys?
Your computer get hacked, too?
No, it's in for minor repairs. But my Instagram and my Facebook accounts both got hijacked.
Yeah.
Today, somebody's advertising Bitcoin on my Instagram account
smart
tonight.
Person who took it over. Very smart.
And we were actually able to get a human at Facebook. I know it sounds crazy, but we got a human. I have experts on it. They're trying to restore my stuff. Over the weekend, you had this incredible footage of the Israeli raid on the Nusrat refugee camp being held by Hamas in central Gaza. And while the left is busy arguing about how many casualties there were and whether airstrikes were necessary, Martha Raddatz, this was a daytime rescue operation. This footage is just extraordinary. I believe the choppers flew them out to the Mediterranean where these hostages, were there. And I think one of the hostages that were in the raid was that woman who was on the video and placed in back of the Jeep and dragged away. I'm trying to verify that right now. But
what's amazing about this footage, what happened, and the Sunday show's coverage of it, is that you would think the hosts
work for Hamas.
But you would think the hosts thought that the Israelis were the only ones shooting or the only ones doing anything on the offensive during this recovery mission. Like everybody else was just standing around, hands up, and just getting. Like, they were the only ones shooting. Like, there was a firefight. There's other video. Like, it was intense.
Yeah, there's interior video of the firefight inside.
How many terrorists they say they killed?
Well, the Israelis said about 100. The left is saying 270 casualties. So we don't know.
Martha Raddatz says to Jake Sullivan this Sunday, and I'll just paraphrase because I was watching it in my hotel room in Boston. Are you sure we're comfortable here with 200 deaths? And I'm thinking to myself, are we comfortable? Now, she doesn't even know. Martha Raddatz has no idea who was killed. She doesn't know if they're so-called citizens. She doesn't know if they're terrorists. She doesn't know if they're Hamas. She doesn't know she doesn't know anything. She's just been told what to say. And what she's told what to say from wherever she gets her bogus information from is to make it out that Israel are the bad guys. That's the only thing she has to get across.
Right.
And these guys, the Israelis are brilliant. Their military is probably the best per capita as far as well-trained and executing stuff. They came in civilian vehicles, apparently, and in the backs of motorbikes. This thing was planned for many weeks. Just an incredible operation. And,
I heard they even had one set up with like a pickup truck and a mattress on the front to kind of, because I guess they've seen that done before. So so they fit right in.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring that to everyone's attention.
I mean, the coverage of this from the mainstream media and the Sunday shows was disgraceful.
Yeah.
Running cover for the terrorists, which the Biden administration does. And now their lapdogs in the media do it as well. Are we comfortable with this many deaths? Oh, do we think this is... Now, listen, we're all thankful. They have to put a precursor in. We're all thankful that these 4 people got rescued. But, and then they go after Israel. Like, they're the only ones on the offensive. Like, they weren't the ones who said, hey, take some hostages. They didn't say come in on October 7th and kill 1,500 people. Now that they're on the move trying to capture these... Oh, are we comfortable with this? I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah. Were they comfortable with the raping and the murdering of babies and all that stuff on October 7th? Were they comfortable with that? It almost seems like the mainstream media is comfortable with that.
Gazan authorities are estimating 274 Palestinians were killed and 698 were injured. But, you can't trust the numbers of the Palestinians in Gaza.
Well, you have Martha Raddatz can, I guess. Dana Bash can. Others can. They trust them just fine. Now, they'll never do a show on Israeli forces who were killed.
No, and they came on, and this commander who was killed, this guy, the commanders take point in Israel. He's the point man. They're the first in. They're not sitting in a Jeep somewhere. Right. And this guy sacrificed his life, and they came under heavy fire from the militants with RPGs. They responded to the strikes to support with strikes to support the team that was on the ground. So she's criticizing the airstrikes, Martha Raddatz, right? So,
by the way, there's still 5 or 6 Americans there as well. Is there any rescue plan from the Biden administration for them that they want to talk about on the Sunday shows? Or are they just upset with the Israelis on how many terrorists they kill? I don't hear Martha Raddatz too concerned about the 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever the number is Americans who are still there. I don't hear her asking what's his name any questions about that.
And where's the outrage over the Al Jazeera journalist that was harboring hostages?
I thought that was Martha Raddatz. No, that's ABC. Well, what's the difference?
Same thing. Just writing to the Getter chatters. Aria, I am not with you. Don't have laptop.
Wow, Delgado's not wearing a black shirt. People are impressed.
I thought that too when I got dressed. I'm like, I'll change it up.
Is that like a thing for you? Always black?
I don't know. I guess so. Sometimes it's gray. Sometimes I go gray or I go gray or black. I'm very colorful that way.
See the new shirt out today?
What is your new shirt today?
Couple new ones dropped in the last couple of days.
Team Chemtrail?
No, not yet. Here's
people are loving the Team Chemtrail. They love the idea.
Of what, a shirt?
Yeah.
Beach Lover.
I didn't know that.
Beach Lover says, Dana, go to Studio 6B website for T-shirts.
Throw this up, Aaron, so Delgado can see it. You can do it full screen. There's one.
All right. I like that.
We like that one. Zero, you like that one?
I can't read it. Hold on.
I can't read. It doesn't get any bigger, man.
Your vote matters. Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
That's a great one.
This one, this one might be one of my favorites. How about this one?
What does the top line say?
I like that.
It's the election date.
Oh.
Felon Trump's dementia.
Who thought of that one?
I kind of like that one too.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
People be scratching their head like, what?
I'll have mine in the next couple of days so I can wear them.
You got to get me another What Even Is That shirt.
What size?
Medium. Smedium.
Like girly medium? Is that what you fall under?
This is what I fall under.
You got color, Rick. You out in the sun? You got color.
I did a nice ride yesterday and the day before. I was out in the sun, soaking it up.
Everybody says you look tan, Zier.
Yeah, a lot of time outside on the construction site today.
All right, top of the hour, 9 o'clock, hour 2. Man, that was a quick first hour. Hour 2, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, on a Monday, June 10th, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Slick Rick's off tonight. He'll be back tomorrow. Rick Delgado's here. He's doing some news. David Zier's got some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Is Harry on the highway in the building tonight? I don't think so, right? Harry didn't show up. No. Okay.
He might be here later.
No Harry on the highway. Maybe he'll be here tomorrow too. Okay. Lots to talk about in hour 2. I want to talk a little bit about what happened in Europe.
Oh my God, the European elections?
Daily Caller today. Yeah. Gage Clipper says watching conservative news or social media often paints a dark picture for the future of Europe. Europe is conquered, it seems, as the strictures of a globalist elite and their imported third world hordes appear to dominate the continent. Together, they have strangled the customs, the cultures, and their history, to say nothing of the legal protections of native Europeans. But the sleeping giant of Europe has finally awoken, and the global left could not be more terrified. Much of Europe's ruling elite went down in stunning defeats over the weekend in the European Parliament elections. Conservative parties, or quote-unquote the far right, as the media histrionically calls them, walked away with a decisive victory in countries throughout the continent. France swung for Marine Le Pen's National Rally Party by such a large margin that Liberal President Emmanuel Macron dissolved the French parliament and called for early snap elections. Macron's left-wing globalist Renaissance Party barely took second place. Germany, where leaders have been buffoonishly cracking down on citizens, singing foreigners out to the tune of 1990s techno beat, also saw a successful conservative insurgency. Chancellor Olaf Scholz, left-wing Social Democrats Party, tanked below 14% support, while the Conservative Alternative for Germany Party surged to the second largest party now in the country. These are the big two, but the phenomenon is far more widespread. Nationalist parties in Italy, Hungary, the Netherlands, Austria, Spain, and Belgium all won landmark victories. Some won in absolute landslides, expanded their control, while others made narrower gains, but still ousted ruling leftist parties. Anywhere you look at it, it's a massive win for the nationalists of the Western world against the globalist forces that despise them. The votes are for the European Parliament, the European Union's highly technocratic supranational governing body, and won't affect national governments, at least right away, but it is certainly a dark omen for Europe's ruling elite. A storm is coming. This all paints a non-too-flattering picture of the doomsayers supposedly on our side. Europe is not lost, and viral videos aside, there were never really signs to suggest that it was. These nationalist movements, heavily suppressed by technocratic meddling, have been bubbling just below the surface for quite some time now. So the question then becomes, what possible motivation could these so-called nationalist conservatives have for selling us a message of decline and despair? The answer, whether it be cynical engagement farming or something far more nefarious, cannot be good. Your political allies want to communicate a message that uplifts. Your enemies want you to be demoralized. Americans should take these elections as a promising sign. Defeat is not inevitable, and the restoration of greatness is never more than a generation away. But be warned, do not trust any voice that tells you otherwise.
Yeah, and this is a repudiation of the Hydra, the immigration policies across Europe, the floundering economies due to socialists, the farmers, right? This is a big conflagration and a rebuttal. There's this young guy, Jordan Bardella, who led the European campaign. He's only 28 years old. He could replace Macron and Marine Le Pen, along with this, the Rassemblement National, the RN. Is really surging with they got over 30% of the vote, which was a big number for them over there. So,
yeah, big deal. So, all right, live from Studio 6B, 5 minutes past the hour. Let's do some more news, and here with that is Rick Delgado. News is brought to you by 7Cells, 7cells.com. LFS6B is the promo code to use at checkout, 10% off. What's going on, Delgado?
All right, well, the other big story from today happens to be the Hunter Biden gun trial, which is happening in a Delaware courthouse. The sixth day of the trial concluded today. The first son may testify this week, they say, but now from what I see, things have actually wrapped up, and Hunter Biden's defense rested their case in his Delaware gun trial Monday without calling him calling the first son to testify. The gun trial is now in the sixth day, with closing arguments starting. The trial resumed after a week of witness testimony from ex-girlfriends and ex-wife and other Biden family members. The unprecedented trial of the child of a sitting American president expected to enter its final stages, with closing arguments beginning shortly. The prosecution rested its case last week, and the defense spent the weekend contemplating whether or not to call Biden to stand to testify in his own defense. We are down to that last decision, according to Abby Lowell, who had told this to the judge last week. Hunter Biden charged in Delaware, of course, by special counsel David Weiss. Several witnesses told the jury they witnessed Hunter Biden's crack cocaine addiction firsthand at the time when he purchased the firearm at the Wilmington gun shop. And President Joe Biden said last week he would not consider a pardon for his son, and he would accept the outcome of the trial as long as he was found not guilty. Hunter Biden is set to face other charges in California as well, and this stems from federal tax charges when he failed to pay $1.4 million in taxes. The trial is set to begin in September after the judge recently granted a delay. And again, going back to the Hunter Biden case, things will continue tomorrow. So we'll see what comes out of that.
Nothing's going to come out of it. Nothing's coming out of it. They find him guilty. On the off chance they find him guilty of anything after the election's over, Biden pardons him. But I still think there's a very good chance that you have, whatever, hung jury or not guilty.
They were actually, I forget what they were asking. They were saying jury nullification. That's what they were banking on. So we'll see what happens. And again, I know, you're like nothing ever happens, but things do happen, because when this stuff gets exposed, more and more people hear about it. And it makes its way around, and you start to see people don't think of Joe Biden as the guy they thought he was in 2020. Now they know he's pretty much a scumbag. No, and now they know his family is too.
Yeah, new Minnesota polls have Biden up 4 still, but there's a huge enthusiasm gap. There's definitely a tide changing out there.
Yeah. So you got that happening. Also, this breaking from John Solomon just broke a few minutes ago on Just the News. FBI officials conducting a top-secret security clearance review for a longtime employee asked witnesses whether that employee was known to support former President Donald Trump, and if he expressed concerns about the COVID-19 or had attended a Second Amendment rally, according to internal memos that prompted a complaint to the Justice Department's internal watchdog alleging political bias inside the Bureau of the FBI. The employee's security clearance was revoked months after the review, which confirmed his support for Trump and gun rights and his concerns about the COVID vaccine, according to the documents obtained by Just the News. The memo shows that agents for the FBI Security Division asked at least 3 witnesses in the spring of 2022 whether that employee whose name and job title was redacted had been known to vocalize support for President Trump, vocalize objections to the COVID-19 vaccination. Agents ascertained that at least one witness that the worker had, in fact, declined to get the vaccine. Latter questions about the vaccine were asked in spring of 22, blah, blah, blah. The agents also asked witnesses whether the FBI worker had attended a Richmond Lobby Day event in January 2021, a rally for supporters of the Second Amendment in Virginia. And the agent's notes referred to the colleague they were vetting as a gun nut who was engaged in no promotion of violence. So more is, you can go to justthenews.com and check out this story for yourself. Again, this just breaking across the top as breaking news from John Solomon.
I just noticed that Tucker has a new video out tonight about the FBI, and I wonder if it's about the same stuff.
Could be. I haven't had a chance to check it out.
Before we do some more news, let's go back to the White House and get an update on the Juneteenth celebration, and let's see what... Now, the poster here says, Biden here looks as like he's being forced to watch Nancy Pelosi pole dance or something. So let's go back to the White House and see what's going on.
I was going to say, clap your hands, everybody. And everybody, clap your hands to the people on this side. Clap your hands to the people right here. Clap your hands to the people up top. Clap your hands.
You can't
Watch
keep
this.
rhythm.
Joe's not quite in the pocket, as they say, is he?
I could go old school.
In the pocket.
Clap your hands, everybody.
I mean, he's in the pocket of the Chinese, but
Yeah.
certainly not in the
But
pocket
not in
of
rhythm.
finding the beat.
Right? That's when a band has it together, right? You're in the pocket,
Yeah, you're
right?
in the pocket. It's the rhythm section, right? It's the bass and the drums.
yes,
playing
correct.
together. Right. See, yeah, I know my
Very
stuff.
good, very good.
See? He didn't know.
Very
See,
good, gentlemen.
Damon's a music snob, so anytime anybody
Well,
brings
I'm not a
something
music
up,
snob.
he
What
looks
do you mean?
down on us peons as well. You know,
That's not true. I just made a comment that Joe there was not exactly on 1 and 3 or 2 and 4. Quite
He's
frankly.
more on
He was
7 and 13.
1 and a half, 2 and 3/4 or something.
It's not even in cut time.
Yeah, no, he wasn't even in. I don't know what he was. And by the way, you ever notice he can look at something for a minute and not blink? How's that possible? What do they got him on?
Toothpicks.
I don't know, man. That is pretty nuts. He does look like a zombie sometimes because he just kind of stares.
He's been doing
And he
that
doesn't
more.
blink. Right.
How do you
doing that
not
more.
He
blink
has been
for
doing it
like a
more.
minute? That's hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
You think about it.
Try to
There's
do it.
videos of him not blinking for like 30 seconds to 45 seconds watching some of this stuff.
I don't think
reading the teleprompter.
I don't think lizards blink that much, do they?
I don't know, but whatever
Lizards.
they've got him juiced. Well, maybe they're probably testing out the June 27th debate stuff. You know, whatever they're going to do that night.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. All right. Any other news, Delgado, right now?
I got a great Florida SWAT sniper story. I'll save for the next one because this is some good stuff. You'll have to see it.
Is
for
that
yourself.
the one with the 308
bank.
round through the monitor?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my
this is in
God.
the bank. I
Pretty
saw-
sick.
So did you see the footage of it?
Yeah, we
Amazing.
have it.
Amazing.
What's crazy about it is how that they make the guy believe that they're talking to him, that they're all standing there. Like the guys are all standing there. Like,
Right.
He's like almost using one of the guy's shoulders.
Right.
as a-
He
The
is
barrel was on one of the guy's
He was
shoulders.
using the guy's shoulder as a tripod to kind of line it up. And the fact of the matter is, you find out that they're trained. They've practiced this type of situation, shooting through obstacles. It's just amazing.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Amazing story, amazing amazing footage.
That 308 round is
What these
very
guys
powerful.
do, and unbelievable. All right, more to do live from Studio 6B coming back.
I was throwing out more potential VP picks on Friday night.
Oh, yeah?
Like a Zeldin or like a...
Zeldin is, would be tied with J.D. Vance as of the list right now.
You probably, right? Same age group. But I'm thinking about the Jewish vote.
An article from the, American Conservative or somebody? I don't know. Maybe not. I forget. Talking about how Tim Scott's the ultimate choice.
Yeah, I saw that.
Tim Scott.
I saw that in real clear today.
What are we doing? Tim Scott, Doug Burgum? What? What are we talking about? Lost my pictures. Oh, at least I lost them in a commercial. Got any battery?
Yeah. Fran will take him.
Also, I saw Abbott's name brought up again.
Oh, I haven't seen his name, really?
Yeah. He's been talked about a while ago, but it's been quiet. DeSantis and Haley again came up.
Well, DeSantis, he has the same problem as Rubio, right?
Yep.
The 12th Amendment problems.
They said there's workarounds.
Yeah, there is.
So that's not as big as an obstacle as people
think. This time to establish residency.
Well, couldn't he just move his residency to New Jersey with all of his property?
Yeah.
How hard could that be?
Yeah.
He cannot. Well, he endorsed Nancy Mace today, so I can't say anything. He cannot seriously be looking at Doug Burgum. There's just no way the people around him are saying that that's a good thing.
I'd be very surprised if he went with him.
Or Tim Scott, for that matter.
But Tim Scott at least has this record with the minorities and the opportunity zones and the First Step Act work and stuff that he can, at least he has something to latch on to. But Burgum doesn't bring anything.
Tim Scott thinks Ukraine's going to give the money back. Please with Tim Scott. Are you kidding me? Guys thinking
Right?
almost all globalists.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, reads?
PC as they come. We don't need that.
Yeah, there are two reads.
Yeah, I got them. Oh. Well, we've recently had some monumental news that no one's talking about. For the first time in history, the interest we pay on the national debt surpassed every individual budget item except Social Security. That's right, the U.S. now spends more on interest than on national defense or even Medicare, and it's only going to get worse as big government continues to spend like drunken sailors. That's why savvy investors, central banks, and concerned savers are turning to gold, something not tied to the inflated U.S. dollar. You can too with the help of our friends over there at Birch Gold. For over 20 years, Birch Gold Group has helped thousands of Americans protect their savings by converting an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. To learn more, text America to 989898 and claim your free, no obligation information kit on gold. Birch Gold has earned our trust with their education first approach. There are thousands of happy customers and their countless 5-star reviews. Text America right now to 989898 and get your free information kit on gold from Birch Gold and see if it's right for you. Text America to 989898. Well, folks, this is the month we celebrate Father's Day, and of course, that makes, I'm sure most of you think of your own dads. Men of strong values, went to church, had family dinners, honored the flag, values that shaped your home. Your dad taught you to stand up for your beliefs, cherish your loved ones, and appreciate your freedoms. Now, this Father's Day, which of course is Sunday, we know the perfect way to honor his legacy, and that, of course, is with an AMAC membership. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, champions the values that your father instilled in you: family, faith, freedom. AMAC.US/Studio 6B, AMAC.US/Studio 6B. By joining AMAC, you support an organization that fights for these principles. And for June, You get a 2-year membership for just $16. 2 years for the price of one. Join thousands of others proud to be AMAC members. Visit amac.us/Studio6B. Celebrate Father's Day by standing up for what your dad believed in. amac.us/Studio6B. Of course, we'll wish all dads a happy Father's Day as we get closer to the weekend on Sunday. Of course, the U.S. Open golf tournament, always the week of Father's Day. We'll start on Thursday at Pinehurst, and man, it looks like it's going to be a rough track. Greens are going to be fast. Rough is going to be deep. Stuff is going to be hard to get around Pinehurst.
I think
water's going to be wet. It's going to be crazy.
Is it going to be wet?
What'd you say?
Water's going to be wet. It's going to be
I think Bannon's in Pinehurst this week.
Is he?
Actually, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Maybe is he playing the U.S. Open?
No, he's not playing.
Is he caddying?
Maybe.
Okay. Maybe not. 20 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some news. And here with the news is Rick Delgado. News is brought to you by 7 Cells. 7 Cells. Use our code LFS6B at checkout, 10% off. What's going on, Rick Delgado?
Right. Well, here's that story I wanted to tell you about it. The Florida SWAT sniper who drops a suspect who was holding 2 hostages, and he was standing in between them when it happened. The incident breakdown provided by Florida's Lee County Sheriff's Office. I used to know those when I lived down there. I used to live there, too, in my cool life. Covers a SWAT call-out wherein the sniper takes down the suspect by putting a round through a computer monitor and striking him in the head, threading the proverbial needle between 2 hostages. The suspect was attempting to rob a Bank of America. Back on February 6th of 2024, they just released a video of this now, holding the 2 hostages at knife point while also claiming that he had a bomb. When the hostage taker presented a threat of deadly force to one of the hostages, a SWAT sniper neutralized him. You can see it here, and take a listen to, it's kind of tough to see from this angle, and some of it is covered up for obvious reasons, but it's cut number 3. The police sniper drops this suspect, and it goes right through the computer monitor. Check this out.
Due to the suspect's limited exposure, the sniper took a planned and deliberate shot through a computer monitor, striking the suspect in the center of the forehead, killing him instantly.
I might act out too. I get it. I can empathize with that.
See, this is the sniper.
Okay, and I want to be able to help you with that.
And again, he's using one of his buddies there. It looks like his shoulder.
I want to be able to help you with that. 100%. You heard me. Come on, Alavachi.
To cover and also kind of get some leverage.
Talk to me. Let me know what's going through your head right now. What concerns you have? I want to make sure you're the most relaxed.
Go.
You hear he takes the shot. And now watch.
Firing through barriers is
Firing
a trained
through the barrier,
and routinely
boom.
practiced skill by the Lee County Sheriff's
The
Special
2 hostages
Operations
run, and
Sniper.
the suspect hits the
308
ground.
caliber bullet used is specifically selected due to its known ballistic reliability traveling through intermediate barriers. Immediately after the suspect was shot, distraction devices, known as flashbangs, were set off as a special operations unit moved in to remove the hostages and confirm that the suspect was no longer a threat.
Yeah. Confirm that bastard is dead. That's what they did.
Yeah, he saw the sniper setting up to take a shot. He impressively using one of the other sniper operators to fire in a supported position while the snipers and spotters work together is commonplace. This kind of teamwork hasn't been seen before in a SWAT setting. He lines the 308 shot up through the computer monitor to strike the suspect in the forehead as the voiceover said, cleanly neutralizing the threat with minimal risk to the hostages. So there you have it. Just an impressive display of police work and of target.
So extraordinary that he shot through that monitor. You know, a 308 round can travel at almost 3,000 feet per second with a 150 grain round. Very powerful gun, but just to take that chance of knowing that it's going to go through the monitor and not get deflected is pretty incredible. So you know, I'm wondering if that's part of their training too, to shoot through the obstacles.
From what I understand, it's part of. I saw some of the comments on there that said it's something that they do regularly. They shoot through obstacles because sometimes that's the situation they're in.
I would bet there's not much chance taken with those guys.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
I'd bet they feel pretty comfortable in what they're doing.
Exactly.
Very
Especially
impressive.
down. Where's that in Florida?
That was down in Lee County, Florida.
Yeah. Let me tell you where you don't want to go and mess around with the police. Is that would be Florida. You've seen some of these. I mean, you see Polk County, the guy in Polk County.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just so badass. He just come on. He is not listening to your nonsense or anyone else's nonsense for not even 3 seconds. You come here and mess around, and you'll be dead.
Yeah, it's the old F around and find out. You'll find out.
Yeah. He was the guy who gave the press conference about the homeowner, and he said, well, some places, the homeowners, the guy breaks into a house, and he goes, here, well, we encourage the homeowners to make you dead if you break into the house.
Is that Grady Judd?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
I think so. Yeah, they're Polk County particularly, very popular sheriffs.
Yeah. Speaking of Florida, by the way, my mom reminded me, I want to say happy birthday to... who do I want to say happy birthday to?
I don't know.
To my cousin.
Oh, there you go.
My cousin, Kim DeVico. And she's a big viewer of the show, I believe. Of course, she's probably not watching right now. She probably watched at the top of the hour, hoping I was going to do this.
She probably turned it off after she saw you couldn't remember her name.
Wouldn't say happy birthday to me. So happy birthday, Kim.
Yes, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday. And I hope it's great. And I hope the weather in Florida. And don't mess around down there in Florida now, Kim. Because those sheriffs ain't playing around. So... what else is going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, since the October 7th Hamas terrorist attacks against civilians, groups like Gays for Palestine and Queers for Palestine have become a vocal and visible part of the pro-Hamas rallies on American campuses and in the streets of American cities. Recently, Queers for Palestine blocked the exit to Disney World in Orlando, Florida, while chanting Free Palestine.
How'd that work out for them?
And holding up banners. While these groups may passionately and enthusiastically yell anti-Semitic and genocidal chants like from the river to the sea, they should probably take a beat and listen to the prominent Palestinian Islamics that are out there and political and cultural figures and hear what they really think about them. Some of them saying we will not accept a single homosexual on the land of Palestine and that homosexuals should be thrown headfirst from the rooftop of the tallest building. So you have that going on, and you also have this...
Who said that?
That was one of the Palestinian leaders. Then you have the New York.
I saw that video. Yeah,
Yeah, I just saw a new video, right?
And you have the New York banker who was slugged a woman at a Pride event.
Yeah.
After they attacked him.
I saw that as well. All right, live from Studio 6B, we're back with David Zier coming up right after this.
You.
Yes, it's me and David between a fern.
What does that mean?
You don't know the show Between Two Ferns?
Oh yeah, that's with Galifianakis. Who's that with?
Yep.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, if you look at the screen, there's a fern.
Oh.
Not behind.
Is that a fern?
I don't know what it is. It looks like it.
That's like one of those.
It's greenery. It's fake greenery. It is fake.
Is that like a FICA? Is that a FICA?
It's very fake. We've had that for a long time.
Dude, I've never seen it watered. I don't even see anybody talk to it.
Is it real or is it fake?
Go check it out. I think it's fake.
That's traveled through a few studios now.
No, that's fake.
Fake news.
Hey, you said it, not me.
That's what I'm good at. I'm an expert.
If Harry kept real plants here, they'd be dead by now.
They would be eating one of us. Exactly. See, Damon didn't think I knew what the pocket was. Pretty funny. He gets all offended. Aaron likes it. He's like, ha. I was in another pocket this weekend, too.
What pocket is that?
Well, in cycling, when there's a heavy wind, you tend to echelon with the group that you're in to try to buffer the wind and
draft?
make it a little easier. Yes. So it's called getting in their pocket. So you're just off chamber so you can ride easier. So 2 pockets.
Tupac. Tupac It.
I think he's alive.
Might be.
He could be alive. You got about 30 seconds. What are you doing? Why can't you just grab a bottle of water? Oh, my goodness. You want something hot because his back hurts. That makes a lot of sense. Are you going to pour it on your back?
Like in Bridesmaids with the peas?
Yes.
Let's see.
Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Monday night. Damon is pouring some hot liquid on his back because it hurts. In the meantime, we'll throw it over to David Zier, who's got some news for us. David Zier is the host of Breaking Point every Saturday morning right here on Real America's Voice. Saturday, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. on the West Coast. David Zier, what do you got for news, my friend?
Well, I got some exciting things going on. Wednesday night will be the premiere of Scott Lebado's The Relentless Patriot. This guy's got a lot of cojones. He's out there. He's outspoken to support our country, to turn around New York City, to prevent the wood-fired pizza places from shutting down, to protect our police officers, to expose the persecution of Donald Trump. So I will be at the Times Center Theater on West 41st Street in Manhattan on Wednesday night. The movie, The Relentless Patriot, opens in 700 theaters. Go check it out online. You might be able to go right to scottlebado.com, Lobaido, and it'll be released in 700 theaters. But a lot of people are going to be there, and hopefully I'll get to interview some of them or many of them. We'll see how that goes. But Rudy Giuliani, Andrew Giuliani, Nick Vallanga, the producer of the movie Green Book, was an incredible movie. Johnny Sachs, Andrea Matteo from The Sopranos, Siggy Flicker, who's very popular down in Florida, Chelsea Zhang. I forgot who she is. She's very popular too. But
so popular.
Yeah,
no, she's just old. I don't know one of these people except the Giulianis. Who?
Well, Andrea Matteo and Johnny Sachs from Sopranos.
Sopranos.
You know
them if you saw.
They're big guys. Green Book was a Oscar-winning movie. Monica Crowley's going to be there. Curtis Lewa and Chuck Zito.
I know them.
Who's a big Trump ally. I got to say hi to Chuck Zito in the courtroom at the Trump trial.
Hey, by the way, did I
big
hear
Trump supporter?
Did I hear Andrew Giuliani is like a scratch golfer?
He is. He played 9 years in the pro level of golf. I don't think he played in any opens or championships, but he was. I don't know if there's a minor circuit. I forget how it works.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's very good. He told me he shot a 65 at Bedminster with Trump.
Wow.
Just extraordinary. But we're working on an invitation, so let's see if we can put that together one day.
I'm really ready to play golf with my back.
Yes, I shoot a 65 on the front nine. 43 years of should have been golf I've been playing. But I wanted to just cut to a quick video here. Cut number 8, Amber Rose, who's a celebrity, TMZ was filming her the other day. Let's go to cut number 8 and Amber Rose turning towards Trump.
A lot of people were shocked with your, endorsement of Donald Trump. I mean, you're all about women's rights issues. I mean, what was the reason for the big change?
Is Donald Trump not for women's rights issues?
Exactly.
I mean, I guess a lot of people were asking.
He's trying to make America great again. That's for women too, right?
That's true. I mean,
okay. Well, there you go.
I know. Does him getting convicted change the way you view him?
Not at all.
I mean, do you think it'll help his chances getting reelected or you'll hurt him?
I think it helps him more. I think
it
actually
more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people see the injustice and what happened, and they want to vote for him more than ever.
I know. I wanted to ask you. So it seems like a lot of celebrities are kind of voting for Trump now. I mean, why do you think people are kind of changing their way of
I think we just did our research and we're just we're not brainwashed anymore by the left.
That'd be a good
I can
shirt.
say that about myself. All these years I've been brainwashed and I'm not anymore. So.
Not that we've ever been brainwashed.
Now remind me who she is.
That's Amber Rose.
Yeah, she's an influencer out there. I think she's a rapper too. She's been in videos, I think, with P. Diddy over the years. TMZ was, questioning her. I think that was on June 7th on this Friday. And, it's just interesting to see that these people who are mainstream media personalities are not afraid to come out and support Donald Trump, but they're already starting to bash her. There was a story, I think, on Saturday. I saw somebody who stayed with her during a filming of a movie in her place. She was scared to sleep alone because she saw a ghost. So you already see the smear job going on.
What did she become famous for? I mean, I'm just curious because I really like her answer there, how she handled this stupid reporter from TMZ. I thought she gave a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
But so what did she become? Why do people know her?
She's famous.
Again, she is
I know that, but from doing what?
She is I believe a singer, a rapper, a personality here.
Rapper, okay.
She's popular in the hip-hop scene.
According to this, she's an American model and a rapper.
And she's a model for Louis Vuitton. She was Louis Vuitton bags, I believe.
All right, very good. Amber Rose, I'm down.
Just mainstream people.
She first gained notoriety for a music video with Young Jeezy. You remember that single, Put On?
Yeah, Put On.
That was a big one.
That was 08 or something? Yeah. That was a while ago.
And she was involved with Kanye West for a couple of years.
You know the year?
I think I read that.
Okay.
She dated Wiz Khalifa.
At least I don't feel like I'm the only one here who doesn't know who the hell she is, because you guys clearly don't know either.
Dude, she dated Wiz Khalifa. Come on.
Okay.
Stop.
All right, very good.
But other celebrities have come out, like even Macklemore, who's very critical of Trump, said that he will not back Biden. This is going on all over the place. Cardi B was critical of the Ukraine funding.
Well, Cardi B's been critical for a long time of the left. So she's kind of been really pretty conservative considering her status.
Yeah. So I just wanted to keep exposing that. That's a trend going on out there. And then I have cut number 9, Michael Cohen making comments. I thought these were interesting, but I don't know when he recorded this. That would be cut number 9.
First of all of these people, whether it's Marco Rubio, Mike Johnson, Mark Meadows, have all said disparaging things at one point in time about Donald. Ted Cruz, the same thing. They believe that if Donald Trump wins, and they are shoulder to shoulder with him, that they will have unlimited power, which would, of course, give them the ability to make or to have unlimited resources and assets. One mistake that they are making, Donald Trump doesn't share. It's all about him. Not about his kids, not about his family. It is all about him. So if they think that they're going to hitch themselves to his wagon in hopes that they're going to elevate themselves, whether it's through power, through money, through connections and so on, it doesn't work that way. He will not allow them. And just like Putin, once you start to get too big for your own britches, people will start flying out of windows. They will start like Navalny. They will end up in gulags. They will end up, as Donald says all the time, send them to Gitmo. Send them to Guantanamo Bay.
And by the way, it's so insane, that, Trump's, this is the projection by the left, that Trump's a dictator and he's going to take away democracy and he's going to throw people out of buildings and he's,
watching this guy, I just have to say, how did this guy ever get into how did this guy become who he was to Trump? Like, I don't even understand how this guy got that close to him.
Right.
How he ever thought this guy was, he just sounds dumb.
Well,
quite frankly.
I think over time.
How did he ever trust this guy?
I think over time his relationships fell apart with everybody. I was with him the day of the inauguration in 2017, and I thought he was a jerk.
Listen, I want to harp on whoever's advising the former and soon to be hopefully next president of the United States, but I just between the endorsements and the personnel, which I've complained about since 2015, and I'll continue to complain about it, and I don't care if people like it or not. It's been horrific.
Yeah.
He endorses Nancy Mace today after all of the endorsements of rhino establishment type people running against good conservatives. Goes after Bob Good. Bob Good only has a plus 100% Liberty score and every other score you can have. But no, we're going to endorse the other guy.
Yeah, I was sitting next to John McGuire in court, who's running against Good.
Nancy Mace voted for Steve Bannon to be held in contempt. He endorses her today. I And you look at people like Michael Cohen and think this guy got into the inner circle, was trusted. Yeah. And you just have to wonder who is making the personnel decisions, who is talking about it, how are they coming to these decisions?
So I don't know the whole inside game with Nancy Mace going on, but I spent a lot of time with her, around her in South Carolina. She was a fierce surrogate for Trump during the South Carolina primary. Maybe it's a loyalty thing, payback for
well, it's certainly not. Him. I can tell you what it's not. What it's not a thing is. It's certainly not a policy thing.
Yeah,
because she has a D- Liberty score on her votes. Mm-hmm. So she's not aligned with him policy-wise at all. And for most of us, that's what we're interested in. The policy wins, because that's what affects us, not the personality traits. Who gives a crap about the personality traits? Whether she said nice things about him. We care about the votes.
I get it.
And I don't get the endorsements, and they're on one hell of a run right now on them too. Every rhino establishment, anti-conservative, running against real conservative. This is what I complained about Marblemouth doing, sticking his face in races that he didn't need to be in, raising money to go against the real conservatives in these races. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. What else, David?
I just have a quick clip of the father of this 3-year-old that was stabbed in the supermarket here at the Giant Eagle grocery. I think it's cut number 12. She was stabbed. The kid was in a cart.
Where's that sniper when you need him?
Right? Yeah, Bianca Ellis, 32 years old. So this is the father in court. And then I got the unremorseful perpetrator of that smirking in court.
Good morning, sir. Could you start with your name?
My name is Jared Wood, father of the deceased, husband of Margot. Your Honor, that day, 1 week ago, she took everything from us.
So awful.
There's nothing that could ever replace my son, or anything that my wife and I, even our other kids, are going through. It's horrendous. And I really wish no bail, period, or extend it to the max limit possible by
this was in Cuyahoga County,
at the very least,
Ohio, in the supermarket. It's very tragic.
Thank you, sir. Is there anything else you would like to say?
That'll be it.
And then I have cut number 11, the Ohio woman, Bianca Ellis, who was accused of stabbing the mother and the baby, smirking in court, cut number 11.
Code section 2903.11A1 and or endangering children in violation of Ohio Revised Code.
But she's being held on $5 million bail right now.
Where's that sniper right now?
Right?
That's not even, honestly, that's too easy. That's too easy for literal human scum standing feces that we have right there.
Yeah.
The sniper is too easy for her to get off.
Just very moving, very
because
tragic.
Where she's going, someone there is going to find out. You can say a lot of things for a lot of these guys in there. A lot of them don't like when kids are involved.
Yeah, she won't last in prison, that's for sure.
You target a 3-year-old innocent child who doesn't know you and you don't know the mother or the 3-year-old, and you stab the 3-year-old to death. There's not enough bad things that are coming to you.
No death penalty in Ohio right now. DeWine suspended lethal injections.
Just one more segment. Dude, you see the Lakers are going after her? Did he turn it down? I thought it was still up in the air. When did he turn them down?
Today?
Today?
Yeah.
Just for the Facebook audience, YouTube Live, Rumble, X, and everybody, so the death penalty is still exists in Ohio, but it's been suspended by DeWine.
They're going to hire J.J. Redick, by the way.
The General Assembly.
Another bet you're going to lose to me. One of, I don't know, 10
well,
this year?
no. I didn't say they wouldn't hire him.
Well,
I
yes,
said he'd
you
be
did.
a terrible coach.
Get the tape.
I said he'd be a terrible coach.
You said the Lakers will not hire J.J. Redick as a first-year coach.
I'm pretty sure I said if they hire him, he's going to be a terrible coach because his ego will get in the way.
You said that as well, which you're also going to lose, but you said they wouldn't hire him.
All right. I'll go with 2 bets on it.
I had rodeo footage. I didn't know Rick was going to be out. I could have played some Rick stuff. Did you see that catch? Was it a college player?
Yeah.
Over the shoulder?
Yeah, college.
College, right?
Yep.
I've been to that stadium. What stadium was that again? Where did that happen?
I don't know.
I was there. I can't remember now. Over the shoulder catch.
Someone said, "Watch how many times Damon touches his nose." This is the chat. This is what we're focused on.
Is JFK Jr. still alive? Touch your nose.
At least I'm not picking it. Damon seems annoyed.
No, that's not new.
What else is new?
That's not true either. It's not true either.
Clemson.
So yeah, he
Beautiful
turned down.
stadium.
He turned down what? 70 million.
70 million, yeah.
Over
10
6 years?
6 years, 7 years, whatever it was. It's a ridiculous offer. I would have turned it down too.
Is that a ridiculous offer?
For him? Yeah. You look at what Brad Stevens got from Celtics.
What did he get?
He got like 120 million over.
Is he the coach?
And he hasn't won two. He was the coach when he got the deal. Now he's in the front office, yeah. I-13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night. Real America's Voice, glad you're in. I had a bunch of other stuff to get to, but I just didn't get to any of it. I mean, we kind of touched on it. Julie Kelly's got a piece today about the death of this insurrection nonsense on January 6th based on this footage today. Also, did you reference the Politico unaired footage shows chaos?
Yes.
Yes, that's what you talked about before.
That was me.
Our new friend Josh Hammer has a good piece in Newsweek. I'm seeing a lot of this out there now. John Solomon has a piece about it today. Josh Hammer has a piece in Newsweek. Democrats will not benefit from their own Republic destabilizing lawfare. John Solomon today, Democrat lawfare has failed to derail Trump campaign so far while triggering a financial avalanche. Trump's resilience was showcased in his West Coast trips where he collected millions and held a boisterous rally in Nevada where a post-conviction poll showed him leading the once Biden-leading state by 5 points. That would be in Nevada. He's tied in Virginia, leading Nevada. And we go back to where we started the show. Nate Silver's right to ask, at what point is this beyond the point of no return for the Democrats? Stuck with a car that has no engine. And they're not going to have time to replace the engine and get the car started.
Yeah, because even if you do replace him, which I still think they're going to do, who could possibly, because we've talked about their bench, who could possibly energize, these voters on the left to be like, yeah, we've been hoping this person would show up.
Yeah,
There's nobody sitting there going, yes, we need him to step down for this person.
Yeah, we need to turn the whole country into California.
Right.
Or Michigan, sure. No, I don't think I know.
There's no clamoring for somebody to please jump in this race.
No.
Right? Am I crazy?
No.
No, and I think, by the way, Josh Hammer also points out a great point in that they've backed themselves into a DEI corner with this whole situation as well. If you're going to replace Biden, they know that they most likely have to turn to the current vice president, who is the only person maybe disliked more than him, even in his current stage 7 set of dementia.
Right.
So you can't turn to her.
But you have to.
But they would have to, yes.
Right? Because she's done her time, right? It's her this is my turn now. Like Hillary used to say, it's my turn. She deserves it. Because you can't. Who else are they going to get? Unless they have somebody like a personality like Oprah.
Yeah.
But Oprah ain't going to do it.
No.
Because everybody would be like, yeah, Oprah, and then all of a sudden they'd be like, wait, Oprah? She doesn't do anything. She's never run anything. How can we depend on her?
No.
So it would be a quick yay, and then all of a sudden reality would set.
And praised Trump for years.
Yeah. So I don't know who they get floated. Once they get rid of him, it has to be Kamala. And then maybe they go with, hey, let's start a war and shut down the votes so nobody votes.
Yeah, I can't see Kamala on there.
I'm not getting desperate. I'm just telling you what the left would do.
Yeah.
What? Crazier things have happened.
Did you look up in the sky today and see any white trails?
I did not see any chemtrails today.
Okay.
But it's not like they're not out there.
Okay. Our friend Matt Margolis, who's been on the show, has a good piece in PJ Media today entitled, "It's Time to Arrest James Clapper and Anthony Blinken." Talking about the 51 professionals who signed off on Hunter Biden's laptop, and basically saying if that wasn't an effort to interfere with the election, in the same way that they prosecuted Trump, saying that his bookkeeping error was a way to impact his election in the federal election supposed infraction, which of course there wasn't, then we really do have a double standard. So it's time to arrest them and by the way, you could arrest the other 49 too.
Yeah. They should, at the very least, they should all be investigated and lose their security clearance.
Yeah, because how is that not corruptly influencing an election? But Trump's non-disclosure agreement with Stormy Daniels was?
They were untouchable,
Are you kidding me?
though. These guys are untouchable.
And we know Anthony Blinken's role in this.
Yeah.
We've seen all the reporting. It was spawned by him.
Yeah, which is why you've got people like, you saw James Comey come out a couple weeks ago. He started making the rounds on the news on the Sunday shows. And then, of course, just the other day, Andrew McCabe was out. Former FBI Director Andy McCabe is now a CNN senior law enforcement analyst.
He's looking to go someplace else, too.
And he's talking about everybody freaking out, basically wetting the bed if Trump wins. Here's cut number 6. You can hear it for yourself. If Trump wins, what he will do. Take a listen. Cut 6.
It's great to have you here because just few people know the inner workings of the FBI better than you do. And you've also personally experienced the pressure from Donald Trump. And when you see him promising this wholesale takeover of the Justice Department, I wonder how you worry about what that would look like.
Yeah, Caitlin, I worry a lot about it. And I think it's, when you think about these things and you try to predict how Donald Trump is going to react or the steps he's going to take, you really don't have to go any further than listening to the things he says and does. His comments recently are offensive and horrendous, but they're not surprising in any way. He's been saying this for quite some time. I will be your retribution is his refrain to his supporters. So, you know him, you know what motivates him. He is not a person who's driven by principle or ideology. He is someone who's entirely transactional. And if he feels like he's been wronged in some way, then he focuses on revenge and vengeance. And so he's made it perfectly clear that that's what he's going to do. And in the process of seeking that, he is going to he runs the risk of really dismantling and greatly incapacitating the Department of Justice and the FBI. And that is something that Americans on both sides of the political aisle should be worried about. Yeah. We depend on those institutions to protect us.
What do you think
and he is proposing to tear them down.
Yeah. And he went even further, talking about how the FBI, because they're so innocent in what they've done. Check out this next cut where he says they're thinking about leaving the country. This is cut 7.
What do people inside the FBI think when they hear a comment like that?
Just immediate.
It's terrifying. It's frightening. I have a lot of conversations with former colleagues, people who are or were in the intelligence and law enforcement community and may have worked in, the Obama administration, other places. And, people are really trying to assess, what is life going to be like if Donald Trump wins a second term? And on a very personal level, these are torturous discussions with their family members about whether or not they have to leave the country
you only leave the country if you're guilty of something.
Unconstitutionally and illegally detained. people are actually worried about being thrown in jail.
And then Bannon said that even if he leaves the country, the long arm of American justice will get him. I just want to point out that Clapper, I think as late as even Friday, said he doesn't regret denying that the laptop was real.
You got to be all in. These guys know. These guys are all in on when they lie. They are all in. Nothing will make them change. So, no, nothing changes.
No.
Now that it's entered into evidence by the FBI, by the prosecutor, by by Hunter Biden's team. No, that doesn't get them off of it. Nothing will get them off of it. You have to be all in. When you play with brass knuckles, you're playing with them all the time.
90% of DOJ in 2016 of people who worked there donated to Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump. 90%.
Well, like I said, Tucker's got. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw he said something about it. The FBI's is something as I don't know. Go check out Tucker's video tonight. He put it out. All right, as always, we salute our military, active and active, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us, all our truckers, all our farmers, everybody that keeps the country moving. Thanks, guys. Aaron Friend, great job as always. Most of all, thank you to live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here, live from Studio 6B.